Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. As you can tell by the title, it's pondering a question, and this is something that I've seen here and there on like social media, on Twitter specifically, and that is, where is EZA Majin Vegeta? Now specifically, like, where is he in terms of the news? Like, he's not on the current campaign. Like, if you go on the campaign, if you go onto the actual, if you go into actual Dokkan right now on global, and you scroll through the news and everything that's meant to be coming up, you see the Super Vegeta banner, you see the Vegeta event, you see, the typical missions and login bonus, the world tournament, etc, etc, everything that's meant to be coming in this current celebration. But there is no sign of Majin or EZA Majin Vegeta or his EZA coming to global in the news. Now, of course, we've gone through this partially before when we saw that it was going to be my guy next, which coming tomorrow. Can't wait. I really hope I do pull him. I'm giving you my energy as well. I'm wishing you luck. But if you scroll through, you got the new Dokkan event. You've got what I already said, login bonus, etc. The Fighting Legend Vegeta event, the ticket summons, the story events, Easy Age returning, new Prime Battle for LR Kid Gohan, and if you scroll all the way down, we have this, which I mentioned should be coming in the same celebration as the Dokkan Fest Super Vegeta, which is EZA Majin Vegeta. Now, we've already gone through him. I have two theories, two outcomes for this. One is similarly to what happened with the celebration where the SSJ Tech Kale and Khalifa dropped. And then, we were sitting there like, okay, we're getting EZA Tech hit, but where is the EZA for SSJ2 Kefla? Which actually ended up coming in a whole new celebration. It came in part 2 of the Snowy Adventure campaign, and part 1 was it was the LR Hitku, as you can see here, the Extreme Z area for the Universe 6 free-to-play units, where we've got the new ESBR stages. So the way Dokkan did it for this is so we obviously wasn't lacking content for like a week, potentially 2 weeks. You had the campaign where you had the actual Dokkan Fest Kale and Khalifa as well, or, by themselves, with the EZA for Tech hit. Then we had this celebration, which again is what the Snowy Winter Nights, Glittering Winter Nights Snowy Adventure campaign, which we in part 1 then got LR Hitku, the EZA area for the Easy area for the free-to-play Universe 6 units, and then in part 2 is actually when we eventually got everything from the original campaign on JP, which was Super Saiyan 2 Kefla's EZA, whereas on JP it was kind of all in one campaign, all in one celebration. So my theory is that potentially one or two things are happening, and I'm going to say the latter first. Maybe the Majin Vegeta EZA won't be in this celebration, in this campaign, which I really do hope isn't the case, because I don't want them to move it. I mean, one is extra stones. Who doesn't want extra 30 stones? Two, it's an EZA of Majin Vegeta. As a Vegeta fanboy, I want this. So I really hope that isn't the case. Actually, I kind of have 3 theories. The second one is similar to what happened to the SSJ2 Kefla EZA, which was maybe in a part 2 is when we're going to get this EZA, and that's why it's not currently in the news. Similar to, as I said, what happened with the whole celebration going from Kale and Khalifa with EZA hit to a part 2, or like a whole new campaign which had a part 1 and part 2. So obviously not going to see it in the news yet on actual, when you go into the global version of Dokkan. So maybe there's going to be a part 2, and then when part 2 starts of the campaign, then maybe is when it will obviously have in the news, oh, there's going to be a new Extreme Z battle for Majin Vegeta. That is what I'm thinking is most likely is going to happen. Or, in an even more similar case or scenario to how they handled all the content coming from when the Dokkan Fest Kale and Khalifa dropped, maybe because there being the whole Happy New Year celebration, the Step Up banner, then this celebration, with the whole Super Vegeta stuff, or the Dokkan Fest Super Vegeta drop-in, all of that content, and also the new Fighting Legend Vegeta event, maybe Majin Vegeta might be in a campaign that kind of simultaneously starts and kind of continues on from the campaign that we currently have. as I said, even more so like what happened with Kale and Khalifa and then the SSJ2 Kefla EZA. But I'm thinking more than likely, it's just the reason why we haven't seen Majin Vegeta in the news yet is more than likely and probably because there's going to be a part 2 and then that's when it's going to be revealed in the news that this guy's getting an EZA. That's what I think anyway. That's my personal opinion. As I said, I hope it's not the former that I briefly mentioned, which is maybe he's not in this current celebration at all. I don't know why they would push him back. I don't know where they'd push him back to and who they'd drop him with. But more than likely, I do think it's just he's going to be in part 2 of the celebration, just to kind of span and space the content out, which makes a lot of sense because they already done it, as I said, with the EZA Kefla, especially because we already had EZA hit in the original celebration. So I'm guessing that we are going to see EZA Majin Vegeta in a part 2, and then that's when we'll see him in the news. If you don't know what EZA Majin Vegeta does, even though we've already gone through him, I'll quickly go through him now. So he ends up being an AGL lead, giving Ki plus 4 HP and attack and defense plus 120, so a useful lead for like Ultimate Clash or something. Also raises attack for 1 turn by 30%, causes mega colossal damage with a medium chance of stunning, which is very useful for SBR and ESBR. On 18 Ki, he also raises attack by 30% for 1 turn as well. Causes colossal damage, sorry, to all enemies with a medium chance of stunning them for 2 turns. Of course, the 18 always does slightly less damage because it's an AoE, whereas Final Impact's obviously just 1 target, 1 enemy. He now has defense, which is nice, what he needed. Defense plus 150, attack plus 180. His damage output is still ridiculous, obviously. When performing a super attack, Ki plus 2 and reduces damage received by 20% when there is an ally whose name includes Bulma on the team. Yes, he has some quite specific conditions in his passive. Unfortunately, there's not that many good Bulma units. When this Peppy Girl Bulma gets her EZA, she's actually pretty good. So I know, you know, there is that. The only unfortunate thing about this specific Bulma, who's actually pretty good, is she doesn't go on Vegeta's family, because obviously when Bulma was younger, she doesn't go on any category that Majin Vegeta goes on. So that is also a slight issue. I mean, there is potentially other Bulma units, is there? No, I don't think there is. So unfortunately, that's very difficult to kind of get off. Which is a shame, because the damage reduction is such a nice thing to have on Vegeta. Now he has like, what, 150% defense? Well, I hope, and I've already talked about this, is this Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma unit, because it doesn't specify, there's no exclusion of units, it's just a unit that includes the name Bulma. So I'm hoping that somewhere in the not too distant future this guy receives an EZA, because not only does he actually need one, second, he's actually got a good foundation of an EZA where he can become a really good unit. He doesn't go on many categories, unfortunately, but he does go on one of them that does involve having Majin Vegeta on it, which is Vegeta's family. So at least you could run them together and get that damage reduction off. You know, say if you're doing an SBR and ESBR run. You know, and as I said, he has a good foundation for an ESBR. Not ESBR, an EZA, sorry. So hopefully in the not too distant future that happens. Also, he gets Ki plus 2 plus an additional attack and defense plus 20% when there's an ally whose name includes Trunks Kid on the team, which a little bit easier to get off than Bulma. Like, there is a few decent Kid Trunks units. For example, you've got this guy who works really well with Goten. This guy also works really well with Goten. His EZA is very nice. So yeah, not as restricted as Bulma, you know, but you know, you only get an attack and defense plus 20%, you know, on top of what you're already getting in your passive, which isn't, it's not bad. But this one you're not going to be trying to get off all the time, but it is a little bit easier. Then also he gets Ki plus 2 and a chance of performing a critical hit plus 20%, which is huge. 20% on a crit, especially if you have dupes in them. When the name of an ally who's attacking in the same turn or an enemy includes Goku, Youth, Captain Ginyu, Junior, etc. excluded, which is a lot easier to come off because a lot of the best units in the game are Goku's units, and not to mention they share quite a lot of categories, as you can see here. Resurrected Warriors, potentially Majin Buu Saga, because there's SSJ2, SSJ3. Also there's that transforming SSJ2 Goku that's currently on JP right now with the Kid Buu. Pure Saiyans, Super Saiyan 2, probably Final Trump Card, Connected Hope. There's a lot of categories for you to run a Goku unit, and also you kind of have a little bit, this one's not restrictive at all because you can also face an enemy whose name includes Goku to get that off as well. Not only that, he gets Ki plus 12 and performs critical hit when HP is 30% or less. So, and he does that once only. So that's his EZA, and that is kind of my opinion. I think the two theories I have that are more likely to happen is it's just simply there's going to be a part 2 to the celebration, so hence why there's no news or hint to him coming on global right now. So in a part 2 it's going to be like, hey, EZA Majin Vegeta's coming, or second, which I really hope doesn't happen, which is he's not in this celebration and they're going to push him back. But it doesn't make sense to push him back, because where would they bring him back in? Where do you fit an EZA Majin Vegeta in than here? So as I said, it's probably nothing. It's probably just there's going to be a part 2, you know, or a celebration that kind of continues on simultaneously to this one, but starts a whole new campaign, and it will just essentially bring Majin Vegeta with it as the Super Vegeta starts to get to the end of the current campaign or celebration. So those are my theories. As I said, it's probably nothing to worry about. I don't see them pushing him back, but if they do, it'll be a huge shame. It's just he'll probably be in a part 2 or a celebration that starts simultaneously near to when the current one is about to end, and he'll be coming very soon. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and what you think will happen. Also, I wish you all luck summoning tomorrow on the Dokkan Fest Super Vegeta banner. Hopefully I pull him as well. Of course, I'll be doing a video on that. I hope I put him, and again, I hope you put him. I'll see you next video, guys, and peace.